Sweet.
All right. What's that? I didn't hear anyone.
That looks good.
Yeah. All right.
These are on and ready to go.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right, we're gonna whittle through this, folks. Oh, all right. Well, thanks everyone to our first live stream. I want to thank everybody for helping us get this going. We had to jump through quite a few hoops to be able to live stream. And the goal with this is we want to, me and Bobby go to a lot of sporting events that aren't live streamed. And there's a lot of folks at home that want to see it. And I bought a tripod, so I'm kind of committed now. And we're going to try to get out to as much as we can, pending our schedules. You know, Andy Williman, you'll be happy to know that I want to try to get golf live streamed, tennis, JV football games, away games. So we have a place to kind of connect as Chieftain fans and watch our athletes play. Today I'm sitting here with varsity head coach Cal Gerber. Thanks, Cal, for making the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you're a busy guy, especially on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. But we're here for a reason, to talk wrestling. And how I want to do this today is first we're going to start off with a JV review. Our junior varsity wrestler season is now over. Pending our team situation. If our team moves on, then we might need to call some of them JV players up. But if, Coach, you could give us a JV review quick, that'd be great.
Yeah. So this year, more than the last couple of years, my third year coaching at Osceola, we had more JV wrestlers, which is a good thing. And the nice thing about wrestling is a lot of the events, the JV guys are either in their own bracket or actually in the varsity bracket right next to our varsity guys. So it's really nice to bring the whole team to one event and have them all wrestle there. But we use our JV kids. They all get opportunities to be in the varsity lineup. Usually there's injuries, sickness, if we move around, whatever we do. The JV kids get lots of opportunities. We had several of our JV guys went down to Menominee and they wrestled in the JV regional to go to JV state. Landon Peterson did qualify for JV state. You know, just talk about Landon. He went down then wrestled at Wausau. He had a heck of a season. He won a lot of varsity matches for us as well at 106. I want to say he won 24, 25 matches this year, which is a really good freshman year, especially when you're not getting all the matches either. So he's going to be a really nice piece we add into the lineup all season next year. Then a lot of other hard workers. We had Luke Taylor, Luke Johnson, both worked really hard this year and got a lot better as the season went on.
And it's Luke Johnson's first year wrestling.
Yeah, and strong, good athlete. Kid showed a lot of potential. He's only a sophomore, so we're going to get a lot of wins out of him still too.
Luke Taylor, I've watched Luke progress, and this year he's who did he wrestle in that last match?
Well, that last match we had a kid a little banged up, so we had to throw Luke up a weight class into the varsity dual meet, and he was in a tight match, got a Granby in the third period, scored 6, and ended up winning 8-1. I mean, it's awesome to see that kid get a chance to step up in our varsity lineup and win a big match for us. A couple other names. Oliver Myron had a really nice year, stepped into the varsity lineup a couple times to really help us. He was a pretty critical part in our Glenwood City duel at the Menominee Whitetail shootout that we won. He went out there and battled a stud so we could get more wins for the team. And, you know, he always does exactly what he's asked to do. Kid named Jackson Larson came out for the first time, had an injury, but he's going to be back and he's enjoyed wrestling. Bo Lamore came out about halfway through, a little bit of experience. Bo showed a lot of growth, hard worker, strong kid, freshman wrestling heavyweight. He's going to be really tough for a couple years to come. One other guy who was varsity most of the year, Travis Sicard, had a really nice year. He won some big matches for us in dual meets and had some really I think his highlight of his season, he was wrestling a kid who was ranked, I think, about number 9 or 10 from Minnesota in the Chieftain duels, and he threw him on his back and pinned him in the second period in a match he was losing. So Travis is always fun to work with, fun to watch. A good partner. Weston Meyer worked really hard this year, won some big matches, and showed a lot of improvement. Won some big matches down at the Ladies Smith tournament, had a nice tournament there. Just a lot of growth. And as the program continues to grow, I expect our JV numbers continue to grow, and we're gonna keep feeding the varsity starting program. So yeah,
that's awesome. And Sicard Travis, fun to watch. He's on the edge of disaster is I'll explain it. He's either gonna get a big pin or he's gonna live or die by the sword.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He lives or dies by it.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. All right, moving on. We got our Lady Chieftains wrestling hard tonight. They're going all the way to Merrill for the ladies regional.
Yep.
And I think we got 3 wrestlers. I know we got 3 wrestlers going over there. A little bit about them.
Yeah, so we have 3 girls going over there. At 100, we have Sylvie Hansen. She's a junior. This is her second year wrestling. I believe she's 8-1 right now. She's having a pretty good year. She just won a tournament over in Menominee a couple weeks ago. And then at 107, we have Ella Anderson. She's got some older brothers who were pretty good wrestlers. This was her first year wrestling. She showed a ton of improvement. She's tough. And at 114, we have Tania Campo, who's actually Tristan's little sister, and it's her first year wrestling as well. She's a freshman. And again, she showed a lot of growth. She's really tough on top, has a really nice half. And those 3 have been really fun to work with this year. And I'm hoping they have a really good night tonight over in Merrill. Coach Strum is with them in Merrill. I'm hanging back to run the varsity practice for the boys and get them ready for tomorrow. But I'm expecting a lot of growth in our girls program. We plan on hiring a girls head coach next year to coach alongside Strum and I and our other volunteers, just to get someone, hopefully a woman in there who's a little more focused on the girls, just because it's hard to run 2 programs at once, and we want to see that girls program grow.
Definitely. And if you're watching and you know some ladies that want to try wrestling, we got a lot coming up from middle school, but 14 lady wrestlers shouldn't be out of the question.
Yeah.
Minimum. So yeah, that's tonight in Merrill. We're trying to find a live stream for that. Haven't found one yet. I'll keep people posted, probably on my Facebook page. If I find a live stream, I'll share it. Moving on to our varsity men's regional. Tomorrow in Baldwin Woodville, wrestling starts at 10 a.m. Real quick, Black Hawk TV on YouTube live streams it. Here's what I'll share with you. If they zoom in on just their matches, we're going live because we want to see the Chieftains. I don't remember Baldwin Woodville doing that, but I believe there'll be 4 mats there.
Should be 3.
3?
WIA requires you to have at least 3. They could do 4. I don't know that they will.
Okay, so if you can't see a wrestler, get a hold of me on Facebook or call me, and I'll bring everything with to go live. So back to it, men's varsity regional at Baldwin Woodville tomorrow. Can you give us a breakdown on that, Coach?
Yeah, I'll kind of start from the team perspective. Number 2 and number 3 team in the state are there, St. Croix Central and St. Croix Falls, both programs that have had a lot of success in the past few years. Osceola, we've been closing the gap on them, surely, and it's been quick. Honestly, I thought it'd be more of 5, 6, 7, 8 years down the road from when I started coaching here that this gap would be getting closer. And it's close right now. We've been ranked as high as number 10 in the state this year. And I picture us having a really good day. There's definitely a scenario where we come out in the top 2 and get ourselves in that team sectional. But yeah, it's going to be, I really think it's between those 2, and it's our job to play the upset card. And I think it's doable. So
going through my head here real quick, all our wrestlers are healthy.
Yeah, for the most part, we're pretty healthy, which is nice.
When we have healthy wrestlers and we go into a tournament or something where our team needs to win, they pulled it off this year in amazing fashion. I mean, we took down River Falls. They're ranked number 6 in D1.
Yeah,
that was phenomenal. But every one of our wrestlers was on point.
Well, since it started at the Chautauqua tournament, our boys cut down from 26 all the way up to 75 all went down one weight class, and that had been the plan kind of all along. They all wrestled up a weight pretty much all year. We thought give them a tougher schedule, tough matches, and then they didn't cut weight all year. Most of them just ate whatever they wanted and went out and wrestled and had fun with the sport. Well, now it's time to get serious. We cut down after the Tech tournament, which we took second at, just finishing behind New Richmond, a tough Division I school with them. Since then, though, in dual meets, we've gone 7-0, and they really haven't been that close. We beat schools like Glenwood City, River Falls. We beat Chippewa Falls. We beat Shiocton, which is a really tough Division III school. We beat Ellsworth. We beat a school, Chisago Lakes, which is a pretty tough school over in Minnesota. Multiple state-ranked kids. We actually beat them last week, 63-18. The boys have been wrestling really well, and a lot of them, it's been a month or so since a lot of them have lost. You look at our records, most kids have 8 to 12 losses on it, and we've had a really tough schedule, and the boys are peaking at the right time, and that was on purpose. I wanted our kids to be battle-tested, and they have been.
Good. And it seemed to work out. You got to trust the coach's plan, basically. And I'm learning to do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even at times during the season, I look at it, when we were wrestling at Freedom, and I have some of my best wrestlers going 2-2, 1-3. We even had a few guys going for it. I'm sitting there looking at it thinking, gosh, am I doing the right thing? Was this too tough for us? But by the way the guys have been peaking right now and how they've been wrestling, I really do think it was the right thing. We didn't shy away from any competition. I mean, we had a really tough schedule. We went over to Minnesota earlier for a quad and wrestled Hutchinson and Albert Lee, which are two really highly ranked Minnesota schools. We've had a really good year, and the guys are down to weight now, and they're strong and healthy, and it's going to be a good weekend.
Yeah, crunch time is here.
Yeah.
If you want to go through our weight classes quick,
let's do it.
That'd be great, man.
So I'm only going to talk about the weight classes where we have guys in them, but it's going to be a fun day of wrestling with having those two highly ranked schools. Us, Luck Frederick Grantsburg has some good wrestlers. Bloomer Colfax has some good wrestlers. Ellsworth still has their guys that are good. Baldwin has some good kids. It's a really tough regional. It's going to be tough at every weight. So nothing's guaranteed, and everyone's going to have to show up if they want to have a good day and move on to sectionals. At 106, we'll have a freshman, Malachi Barker. He's ranked number 7 in the state. I believe he's got 39 wins right now. Likely come in as a 2 seed, as we lost the Ellsworth kid earlier this year. I'm a senior, but I think we're going to show a lot of improvement. I'm excited to get that match back, potentially in the finals of the regional. At 113, we'll have Alex Williman, who is a sophomore. Alex suffered a pretty bad leg injury this summer. He broke both his fibula and his tibia. He had 13 screws in his leg. We didn't think we'd have him at all this year. So him even being on the mat is awesome to see. I'm glad that I've had a chance to be in his corner again this year. But looking at that bracket, I think it's realistic that he can find a way to get out of the regional and into the sectional. And I'm excited to see that. 120, we'll have another freshman, Keegan Berg. Keegan's got about 20 wins. He's had a good year, had some injuries, had a little sickness, so we haven't had him quite as many matches as we'd like. But Keegan's tough, and he can have a day and really beat anybody. It's a tough weight class, and I expect him to battle with all the top guys there. Again, probably 20, 26, two of the deepest weight classes at our regional. The 26, I believe there's 4 ranked kids. We'll have Hunter Cromroy, who is a returning state qualifier. He's 33-14 right now. Hunter can beat anybody. He's dangerous in all positions. I expect him to have a really good day tomorrow, and really, since he's been cut down to 126, he's been even tougher. That's been a good move for him, and I think he's going to have a good day.
Yeah.
Moving on up to 32, we have Talon Berg, who placed 5th at state last year, and this is really there's 2 studs at this weight in this regional. You got Talon Berg, who took 5th last year, and Weston Ingham, who took 2nd last year. So they'll likely meet in the regional finals. You have 2 highly ranked kids who had placed high at state the year before. That's going to be a fun match. And both those, I picture both those guys finishing 1st and 2nd here, and then moving on from the sectional to the state tournament as well. 138, we'll have Logan Meyer, who I believe has only lost once since cutting down to 38, and that was to Wyatt Unser. He has had just a great run and beat some really good wrestlers. He's going to be right in it. I definitely see him finishing in the top 2. He's had a great year and is going to finish really strong. His younger brother, Cody, who is 34-10 at 144. Cody's been a freshman wrestling 50 and 144. He took 4th of the Northern Badgers as a freshman at a man's weight. He's had a great year and shown tons of growth. And he's in a deep weight class. He's going to have to show up and battle. But one thing Cody has done every week this year is show up, and he fights hard to the end. At 150, we'll have Isaac Dunham, who was a sectional qualifier last year, hurt his hand and couldn't wrestle, or his finger, and couldn't wrestle at sectionals. Isaac should be the number 1 seed at 150, and I expect him to come out on top of the regional and likely the sectional as well. He's still going to have to wrestle really well. There's tough kids in that weight, tough kid from Amory, a tough kid from St. Croix Central. But I have a lot of faith in how well Isaac can wrestle. 57, we'll have your boy Wyatt Hastings. Wyatt has had a fantastic year. He's won a couple tournaments, last 2 actually. He won the Ladysmith tournament, and he also won the New Richmond tournament. He plays at the Northern Badger. Shatek, that's right, Shatek. Yep, we used to go to the New Richmond tournament. He wrestled the New Richmond kid in the finals. That's where that came from. But Wyatt's ranked in the state. Wyatt's had, you look at Wyatt's freshman year to this year, he's worked his butt off, and he's way better. He's one of the best kids in the state right now. He's ranked in the state, and he's likely going to get another shot at Taden Halldorf this weekend at the regional. Him and Taden wrestled in the dual meet. Taden beat him 11-9. Taden's ranked 3rd in the state right now and has placed at the state tournament before. So we're excited to take another shot at him, but that also just is a testament to how high of a level Wyatt's been wrestling at lately to be in a match that close with a kid of that caliber. And so we're excited for his day. After that, we got to go up to 65. We have a senior, Tristan Campo. Tristan's closing in on 30 wins. Tristan's had to wrestle 75 most of the year, which he's way undersized for. But that's just kind of how the dice rolled and what we needed for our team. He didn't complain much and went out there and got us a lot of big wins. Tristan only started wrestling as a freshman, and I really think he can make it through to the sectional this weekend. And just to go from having no wrestling experience at all to being a sectional qualifier potentially would be a really good testament to the work he's put into this sport. And I'm happy for him, and I hope it's a really good day for him. He's been really enjoyed coaching him over the last 3 years. At 215, we have another freshman, Elliot Havlish. Elliot is 44-6 right now. Him and Wyatt both had 50 matches this year, which is the most you can have before regionals. Nobody in the state has more matches than them going into the regional tournament. Out of Elliot's 44 wins, he's got 42 pins, which is pretty nuts. A couple tough kids, one from St. Croix Central, one from St. Croix Falls. Elliot lost the kid from Central, who was a senior. He lost to him 9-8 at the Northern Badger. As a freshman, looking into that match at the sectional or later in the season, I see the freshmen usually gaining on the upperclassmen, and I think that's one we can get this weekend. And then finishing out the lineup, we got Jacoby Judkins at heavyweight. Jacoby just came out for the sport this year. He is a really hard worker, a strong kid. He's only a sophomore, still learning, but he's got some big wins for us throughout the year. He's been a big part of our varsity lineup, and he's been really enjoying this sport. He's going to continue to grow with it. I expect him to find a couple wins tomorrow.
I couldn't agree more. Jacoby, is more physical week after week, and it helps. And it's, it all derives around from the leaders in the room. You got Tristan Campo, who's our only senior this year.
Yep.
Such a great kid, such a nice kid, a strong work ethic, and that rubs off downhill.
For sure. If you've been to any of our home dual meets, you know what it is. I don't tell the kids to do this. Our kids have ran sprints after our dual meets, because they are all a little bit brainwashed right now. I talk to them a lot about stuff like this, but they're a little bit brainwashed, which is what I want them to be. But I've convinced them that you need to work harder than your competition to beat your competition. And there's a lot of truth to that. So I told them some of the things I used to do growing up. And I said, I always liked the time after a dual meet or a tournament, because nobody works out after that. You had your matches, you're done. You already worked hard. You go do a little extra after that, you're gaining on other people. And they've taken it to heart as a team, and it's really shown with our resilience, and we can push the pace.
Hard work builds confidence, and if they go into a match confident, that's a third of the battle.
Yep. Tanner and I, my little brother and I, we'd always have this talk with my dad before the state finals or the state tournament. If you've done everything you can to get yourself ready for that moment, then there's nothing to be nervous about, because you've taken care of everything you could. If it doesn't work out and you worked your butt off from the beginning of the season to the end, did all the extra, and it doesn't work out, at least you can sleep at night knowing I did everything I could. Now, if you go into that match and think, gosh, I should have worked a little harder at practice, I should have conditioned a little harder, I shouldn't have skipped those practices, well, then that doubt's going to creep into your mind, and you're going to be wishing you would have when that time comes. So just building the confidence and knowing that we work hard and they've done what they can to be ready for this weekend, and I think it's going to be a good result.
I agree. And I'm sure a lot of people agree. You know, you put the work in, Coach, and we all appreciate what you do, what you've done with the program, and where you're going to go with the program. There is no doubt that even next year we'll be steps farther ahead than where we were this year, and that's hard to believe coming from where we were.
Yeah,
just a short time ago.
Yeah,
so fun to watch, and about, you know, you got to give these kids the opportunity, and a good coach does that. Yeah, so Blackhawk TV on YouTube tomorrow for our regionals. Wrestling starts at 10 o'clock. Baldwin's usually on the ball. They run good events down there, so I'd imagine it'll start right at 10. Ladies tonight, Merrill. We'll still try to find a live stream. I'm not going to promise anything. It's tough to find, but I'll do some looking. Other than that, we wish our boys the best. And if you're bored, come on down, cheer them on. I'm sure it'll be a packed house. We got 13 schools coming down.
I believe that sounds right.
13 schools coming down. And we should have a great day moving 8 to 10 kids into sectionals, if not more.
Yeah, I think 10 is doable. Pretty sweet if we do it.
Yeah. Well, all right, man. We got it covered. This is our regional preview, ladies preview, JV review, and our team possibilities. So we're going to let you get back to your Valentine's Day. And again, thanks, Coach, for coming out. And we will be back with you soon. Thanks.